Present simple tense is used to talk about regular actions, general truths and facts, daily routines and habits. Now how it talks about regular actions in the present. Let's discuss it. Here we have an example. I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. This sentence is in the simple present tense because it describes a regular action. The action is wake up, and the phrase every day tells us that this action happens repeatedly as a routine or habit. It is not happening only once, it happens again and again. Here we have another example. They play football on Fridays. This example shows a regular action because of the phrase on Fridays. How it shows regular actions. Here on Fridays means that the action happens every Friday or on a regular basis. It is not talking about one specific Friday. It describes a repeated activity or routine. The last example is, we visit our grandparents every month. This example shows a regular action because of the phrase every month. Now how? The words every month tell us that this action is repeated monthly. It is not a one-time visit, it happens again and again according to a schedule or habit. The simple present tense is used to talk about general truths and facts because these things are always true, not just at the moment of speaking. Let's move towards the examples. Here we have example. The sun rises in the east. This sentence is a general truth and a fact because it is always true. It does not happen only today or only sometimes. The sun appears in the east every day, so we use the simple present tense to express this permanent fact. The other example is, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This sentence is a fact because it is a scientific truth. Whenever water reaches 100 degrees Celsius under normal conditions, it boils. Since this is generally true all the time, we use the simple present tense. The last example is, the earth revolves around the sun. Is a general truth and a scientific fact because the earth always moves around the sun. This is true every day and for everyone. Since it is always true, we use the simple present tense. Now let's move how present tense shows daily routines and habits. Here we example. My father reads the newspaper after breakfast. This sentence shows a habit because reading the newspaper is an action that your father does regularly after breakfast. Since it happens repeatedly as part of his routine, we use the simple present tense. The other example is, we go to the mosque every evening. This sentence shows a daily routine because the action of going to the mosque is done regularly every evening. The words every evening tell us that the action is repeated, so we use the simple present tense. The last example is, Ahmed studies English for an hour every day. This sentence shows a daily routine because Ahmed studies English regularly every day. The words every day indicate that the action happens repeatedly, making it a habit or routine. Now, let's move towards the structure of the simple present tense and understand how to make positive, negative, interrogative, and negative interrogative sentences. Keep in mind that each sentence form follows a specific formula or structure. To make learning easier, we will study them one by one. Let's begin with the structure of positive sentences in the simple present tense. Before knowing the positive structure, we have to know why we use positive sentence in simple present tense. Positive sentences are used to make statements, give information, express facts, describe habits, routines, or tell what someone does. They state that something happens or is true. The structure of a positive sentence in the simple present tense is subject plus base form of the verb mean first form of a verb plus object. Now, let's make a sentence using the given structure. The first example for positive structure is, I read books every day. In this sentence, I is the subject because it tells us who performs the action. Read is the verb because it shows the action being performed. Books is the object because it receives the action. Every day is extra information that tells us when the action happens, so it is a time expression. As you can see, this sentence follows the correct simple present tense structure. Therefore, it is a proper positive sentence in the simple present tense. Let's make another example according the structure. Before we move on to another example, remember an important rule of the simple present tense. Whenever the subject is singular, that is, when we are talking about one person, one thing, or one animal, we must add s, es, or ies to the main verb. This change helps the verb agree with a singular third-person subject. This rule applies to he, she, it, and any singular noun. Now, the question is, when do we add s? And when do we add es? Or ies to a verb? We simply add s to most verbs, as you are seeing in the table. However, we add es to verbs that end in s, double s, ch, sh, x, or o. You can see all the examples in the tables. For verbs that end in a consonant followed by y, we change the y to I and add es, resulting in ies. As you can see examples in the table. Now, let's discuss some examples with singular subjects. The example is, she plays football every day. Here, she is the subject. Placed is the verb. Football is the object, and every day is a time expression that shows how often the action happens. Notice that the verb player becomes plays by adding s. This is because the subject she is singular, as we discussed earlier. The other example is, he washes his car every Sunday. Here, he is the subject. Washes is the verb. His car is the object. And every Sunday is a time expression. Notice that the verb washed ends with sh, so we add es to make it washes. This is because the subject he is singular. As we learned earlier, when a verb ends in s double ssh chx or o, we add es in the simple present tense with singular subjects. The last example for positive sentences. It carries a bag. Here, it is the subject. Carries is the verb. And bag is object. Notice that the verb carry ends with a consonant plus y. In the simple present tense, when a singular subject such as it is used, we change y to I and add es, so carry becomes carries. This follows the rule for verbs ending in consonant plus y. Always remember when there is consonant before y we change with ies, otherwise if there is vowel before y we only put s. Now, let's move on to discussing negative sentences in the simple present tense. The negative structure is subject plus do, or does plus, not plus, base form of the verb plus object. If you notice, the positive and negative structures are slightly different. In negative sentences, we use do not or does not before the main verb. Do not and does not are helping verbs used in the simple present tense to make negative sentences. We use them because the simple present tense cannot form negative sentences by adding not directly to the main verb. Therefore, we need the helping verbs do and does along with not to show negation. Remember, when the subject is singular, we use does not. When the subject is plural, we use do not. Also, when we are talking about two or more people, the subject is considered plural, so we use do not. For a single person or thing, the subject is singular, so we use does not. Also, keep in mind that after do not or does not, the main verb always remains in its base form. Let's discuss examples. The first example is, he does not play football. If you look at this example, the subject is he, which is a singular pronoun. As we discussed earlier, with singular subjects, we use does not. Notice that when we use does not or do not, the main verb remains in its base form. Therefore, we do not add s or es to the verb. That is why we say play, not plays. The other example is, I do not play football. In this example, the subject is I. Although I is singular, it follows the same rule as plural subjects in negative sentences, so we use do not instead of does not. Notice that after do not, the main verb remains in its base form. Therefore, we use play, not plays. The last example is, John and Tom do not play football. In this sentence, John and Tom are the subject. Since we are talking about two people, the subject is considered plural. That is why we use do not, don't, instead of does not. As discussed earlier, when we use do not or does not, the main verb remains in its base form. Therefore, we use play, not plays. Now, let's move on to discussing the interrogative structure in the simple present tense. Here we have the structure for interrogative form. Does, or do, plus subject, plus base form of the verb, plus object, plus question mark. Unlike the other sentence structures, in an interrogative sentence the helping verb comes at the beginning of the sentence, followed by the subject. Why do we use the interrogative form? We use the interrogative form to ask questions about habits, routines, regular actions, facts, or general truths in the simple present tense. The rule are same we use does with singular pronoun or singular subjects. And we use do with plural pronouns or plural subjects. Remember, every interrogative sentence ends with a question mark. The question mark indicates that the sentence is asking a question. Let's move towards examples and discuss it. Does she read books? In this example, does is the helping verb, and she is the subject. Since she is a singular subject, we use does at the beginning of the sentence to form an interrogative sentence. Notice that after does, the main verb remains in its base form. Therefore, we use read, not reads. The object in this sentence is books. Also, remember that every interrogative sentence must end with a question mark. The question mark clearly indicates that the sentence is asking a question. If we do not use a question mark, the sentence may appear incomplete or may not be recognized as a proper question in written English. Therefore, always place a question mark at the end of an interrogative sentence. The other example is, do they watch movies? In this example, do is the helping verb, and they is the subject. Since they is a plural subject, we use do at the beginning of the sentence to form an interrogative sentence. Notice that after do, the main verb remains in its base form. Therefore, we use watch, not watches. Movies is object and in the end question mark. The last example is, does John drive a car? In this example, does is the helping verb, and John is the subject. Since John is a singular noun, we use does at the beginning of the sentence to form an interrogative sentence. Drive is a verb and the object is a car. Let's move towards the last structure, which is negative interrogative structure. There are two correct structures. The one is full form and the other is contracted form. First we are going to discuss the full form, then the contracted form. So let's start first with full form. We use the full form in more formal writing and when we want to emphasize each part of the sentence clearly. Its structure is do or does, plus subject, plus not, plus base verb, plus object, plus question mark. We use negative interrogative sentences for specific communicative purposes. They are not just grammar variation, they carry meaning, tone, and speaker intention. They are used to show surprise or expectation, to confirm information, to persuade or suggest indirectly, to express disagreement or doubt. The rules are same we use does with singular pronoun or singular subject and we use do with plural pronouns or plural subjects. Let's discuss examples. Do they not watch movies? The sentence do they not watch movies follows the structure of a negative interrogative sentence in the simple present tense. In this sentence, do is the auxiliary verb mean helping verb used because the subject they is plural. The word they is the subject of the sentence, and since it is plural, we use do instead of does. The word not is added to make the sentence negative. Watch is the main verb and it remains in its base form. And movies is object of the sentence and the sentence ends with a question mark because it is interrogative. The other example is, does she not eat an apple? The sentence does she not eat an apple again follows the structure of a negative interrogative sentence in the simple present tense. In this sentence, does is the auxiliary verb mean helping verb used because the subject she is singular. The word she is the subject of the sentence, and since it is singular, we use does instead of do. The word not is added to make the sentence negative. Eat is the main verb and it remains in its base form. And the sentence ends with a question mark because it is interrogative. and an apple is object of the sentence. It is done for the full form of the negative interrogative sentence. Now let's move towards the contracted form. The contracted form is commonly used in spoken English and informal communication because it is shorter, smoother, and more natural in everyday speech. Its structure is don't or doesn't, plus subject, plus base form of the verb, plus object, plus question mark. The process is same as we discussed earlier. We use doesn't with singular pronoun or singular subjects, and with plural pronouns or plural subject we use don't. The difference is here we have contracted forms. Let's move towards examples. Doesn't he read a newspaper? The sentence doesn't he read a newspaper is a negative interrogative sentence in the simple present tense. In this sentence, doesn't is the contracted form of does not, and it works as the auxiliary verb or helping verb used because the subject he is singular. The word he'd is the subject, and since it is singular, we use doesn't instead of don't. The word not is already included in the contraction doesn't to make the sentence negative. Read is the main verb and it remains in its base form, because after doesn't we always use the base form of the verb. A newspaper is the object of the sentence, and the sentence ends with a question mark because it is interrogative. The last example of the day is, don't they play cricket in the evening? The sentence don't they play cricket in the evening is a negative interrogative sentence in the simple present tense. In this sentence, don't is the contracted form of do not, and it works as the auxiliary verb used because the subject they is plural. The word they is the subject, and since it is plural, we use don't instead of doesn't. The word not is already included in the contraction don't to make the sentence negative. Play is the main verb and it remains in its base form, because after don't we always use the base form of the verb. Cricket in the evening is the object and time expression of the sentence, and the sentence ends with a question mark because it is interrogative. That brings us to the end of our complete lesson on the simple present tense. Today, we learned how the simple present tense is used to talk about regular actions, general truths and facts, and daily routines and habits. We also discussed the structures of positive, negative, interrogative, and negative interrogative sentences, along with detailed examples of each form. Keep practicing these structures regularly because practice is the key to mastering English grammar. The more you use the simple present tense in speaking and writing, the more natural it will become. Thank you for watching, and keep learning English step by step.